Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tournament Center here at the World Championship in Nice, France. I'm here with the reigning World Magic Cup champion, Raphael Levy. And, you know, we've been watching a lot of Sidisi whip decks and a lot of blue-black control decks that are taking all the time. But you have a fair amount of time in between rounds to relax and you're playing a deck that's maybe just a tiny bit faster than some of those decks.
So you see all the gain life and everything. I'm taking the opposite way. I'm running Mono Red.
Yeah, and so I know this is a deck you've been you and your team, Team Revolution, have been playing around with in various forms. And I know one of the cards you guys desperately wanted at some point when building this deck was an Ash Zealot.
Well, after the old format, when the format rotated out, we tried very hard to build a Rabble Master deck, but it was missing something. Like we had the 1-drops, had the 3-drops, and we really wanted to play with a Hortling Outburst. But we couldn't figure out what was missing.
All right, we'll show them what's missing as we go through the cards here, because you did find the answer, but let's start with the 1-drops you were talking about. Foundry Sheet Denizen, we haven't heard a lot from this character in a little while, and Monastery Swiftspear. We've been hearing a lot about the Swiftspear. Tell us about these two cards.
So we needed at least 8 1-drops. The other 1-drops available are not exactly what you want to do. The Setter Fire Drinker is it's just not what you want to do. You want to attack quickly, push as much damage as possible without taking much damage. So Foundry Sheet Denizen goes really well with the rest of the deck that we're probably going to see later. And Swiftspear is just the best 1-drop right now. Yeah,
it's been amazing, and we've seen it even, you know, going back all the way to older formats as a really dominant card. Okay, so let's take a look at your 3-drops that you mentioned. So Goblin Rabble Master, this has been the defining card in the Mono Red decks since it was printed.
Well, what can we say? It's a great card. It does everything you want to do. If you don't kill it right away, it just kills your opponent really fast. And along with all the cards in the deck, with the Denizen, goes great. With Stuck the Flames, it's great too. And the Hortling Outburst, it just goes very well with the 1-drops, with the Swiftspear and the Denizen. Pump both of them.
Right. You get 3 activations on the Foundry Sheet Denizen off of this, and you get 1 activation on your Swiftspear.
So they all go well together. And the 3 creatures, of course, is good with the Rabble Master that can attack for 1 million. Well, not 1 million, but about that much.
All right, so 1-drops. We've got 3-drops. So what was the 2-drop that you found? Really?
Yeah, Valley Dasher. Valley Dasher is awesome. So we were looking for the 2-drops, and we tried Fire Dancer, Setter Fire Dancer. Not my favorite. You could just be blown out if they kill it in response when you burn your opponent.
Sure. You aim your damage spell in the wrong direction, and
then you'd lose everything.
They're like, okay, take it.
Yeah, I take 3, and you lose everything. And then you have Eidolon of the Great Revels. Not great in this format. When you play it, and then your opponent plays a Siege Rhino, what are you gonna do? You're just behind.
I think you lose 3 life.
They gain life. You lose life, and everything you play costs you life.
Right.
So not exactly what I want to do, especially on turn 2. You want to be able to attack, especially that this deck is vulnerable to mass removal, to Drown in Sorrow, and all of this. But when you play another 2-drop, there's another option, was War Aspirant.
Oh, yeah, War Name Aspirant.
Yeah, but you know, it's a 2-1 or 3-2, and then it gets into play and doesn't do anything right away. Valley Dasher just attacks. Comes attack for 2 right away.
Contractually obligated to attack.
He has to attack.
You don't worry about this in a room full of Coursers of Krufix and.
Like, it goes well with the other cards in the deck. Like, you can also tap it with Stoke the Flame so it doesn't attack. But on turn 2 also, you can really have a lot of damage. Like with the Denizen and this guy on turn 2 on the play, you attack for 4, and it's a 2-2. Like 2-2 is much better than like 1-1.
And I guess if you're going to pack your deck full of burn, creatures that get in there and do some damage to your opponent early, do you have a lot of burn in the deck? Let's see what the next set of cards look like. Well, that is a book full of matches.
So Titan Strength is the key to how the deck can work. If you have Valley Dashers and you attack into Coursers of Krufix, that's the worst. You have it, they play it, you're like, oh yeah, I attack for 2 and then it's dead. So you have Titan Strength, and once your opponent knows you have Titan Strength, then they might be worried when they're blocking. You attack and they go like, oh, if I block, I lose my guy, so I might just take 2. And the rest of the burn is just, you know, nice suite of burn spells just to...
Searing Blood, Magma Jet, Lightning Strike. Stoke the Flames, obviously fantastic with Hordling Outburst, fantastic with Goblin Rabble Master, where you have lots of ways to make that card much cheaper.
Yeah. Well, Hordling Outburst, play Stoke the Flames right away, attack with Denizen for 4. It goes great together.
And that's a normal play for you?
Oh, every day, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at what else. 22 Mountains. It couldn't be simpler.
I love that about the deck. It's 22 mountains. The only thing you worry about is having 2 on turn 2, and the third one can wait. If you have it on turn 3, you're good. So that's one of the very few decks can do it in the format. They all play triple lands, dual lands. They come into play tapped. You don't have to worry about it. You have 22 mountains, all druid sources.
And you don't want to be doing any scrying. You don't want to be doing any life gain with your lands.
Also the fetch lands. You don't really want to take away lands from your deck because you actually need the lands. Like you have to get to 3 mana.
Right.
And maybe to 4 because you can play 2 spells on the same turn. You actually want past the 4th land. But that's why you play 22 and not less.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the sideboard. The sideboard has a couple of extra lands because you have some bigger spells. You can go large. How often do you do this, and when do you implement this sideboard strategy? Stormbreath Dragon, Dragon Speaker, and Pyromaster.
So you play that when your opponent's packing a lot of mass removal, like Drowning Sorrows, Bile Blight. When you have full of them, it's very hard to like get through, and you never get any damage through. So you need some later game. So Chandra, very good at all the deck as well because you prevent your opponent to block. That's great when you attack.
Great for the Valley Dashers.
Valley Dasher, perfect. Sarkhan, 4/4 flyer, or just can kill Corsair on the spot. Stormbreath Dragon, a little bit of the same, it's just you need some diversity.
Sure. Let's take a look at the rest of the sideboard. And we see Arc Lightning, Hammerhand, Searing Blood. I assume you mix and match these as you need. I know there's a blue-black player out there or a Sidisi player out there waiting for you to make short work of them so they can have an easy round. So I'm going to let you get back out to the feature match area. For Raph Levy, this is Brian David Marshall from the Tournament Center.